Every day, 70-year-old Maureen Scott makes the trip from her front door down the stairs to her mailbox using her walking frame. She says every step is a struggle. Scott and her next-door neighbour Gary Green both live in the Dunedin Hills suburb of Corstorphine. They say their Housing New Zealand homes are making them sick.
This year I've had pneumonia, which ended up with 6 days in hospital. That was in March, and I've had 3 chest infections since. I've been told by my own GPs and that I've got to get out of the house because of the mould and stuff. I'm on the urgent list, supposedly, for Housing New Zealand, and I just haven't got anything, and that was 4 months ago.
Scott blames black mould in her flat for her pneumonia.
When I was in hospital with pneumonia, I ended up having another fall in there.
That's terrible.
So they put me on a walker and they said, well, you're not going to get off it now. Well, I bought a brand new pair of shoes to go to a wedding, and I'd worn them once, and I put them in my bedroom, and I had them on the floor neatly on a shoe rack. Next time I looked at them, they had mould on them. And I said to Housing New Zealand, I said, that's cost me $150 for that pair of shoes. And he said, well, that's your problem, not mine.
In April this year, Scott's doctor provided her with a medical certificate stating, "I would like to request that Maureen be provided with more suitable housing fairly urgently. The most pressing concern is the mould that is in her current house. She was recently in hospital with breathing problems, and it is unsuitable for her to be living in a home with mould." Since then, the mouldy clothes have mostly been thrown out. Housing New Zealand has assisted by providing a cleaner to clean the black mould in the house, sealed the outside windows, and replaced a drafty mouldy wall in Scott's bedroom. But Scott says the living conditions are still damp and the access to the house is still unsuitable. The home has no ramps for wheelchair access, part of regulations for government-owned properties, she says.
Now I've got to go down, turn, and then walk over concrete slabs and mud, and I mean mud.
Green says he also has a damp, mouldy Housing New Zealand home.
I've had to spend, on average for the last 3 months, $80 every single week just on firewood and coal. I'm on a benefit. I live alone. It's not the easiest.
Green says he gets through 1 salbutamol inhaler per week for his asthma.
When I was given that house because of my mental health, and this whole issue has just increased the stress and anxiety, which is then compounded on to the asthma and then the subsequent chest infections. And it's just the sheer frustration of dealing with a tenancy manager who has zero interest in actually getting essential repairs done when notified.
Regional Manager for Housing New Zealand, Jackie Pivac, told The South today in a statement the ceiling and underfloor insulation was upgraded in Mr Green's house, and Housing New Zealand has responded to maintenance concerns based on their priority. He says while Scott has been a tenant for 18 years, she has only raised her issues in recent months, and Housing New Zealand has acted immediately to resolve the matters. I'm Roselle LeBone for The South today.